Hi everyone, welcome back to JP WHU TV. I hope you're keeping well and having a nice weekend. Apologies for the video going up later than I originally planned it to. Part of that today was technical issues with the camera. It was going strange. I don't know what the hell was going on behind this. There's a little gizmo in there somewhere, a little gremlin pissing about with it. But more specifically, that we had a night out after the game last night. Because let's face it, guys, we had to celebrate winning. We really had to. Okay, so let's go. Let's go talk about the starting 11. So in goal was Fabianski. Unfortunately, didn't finish the game, which we'll come on to in a minute. Soufal at right back, Aguerd and Ogbonna in the centre back pairing with Johnson at left back, which was a welcome surprise, to be honest with you. Really, really was. Paquetá, Rice, and Souček in the midfield. That wasn't that much of a surprise. With Ings starting alongside Bowen and Benrahma on either flank. That was a big, big surprise. I did say in the preview, I was this close to putting Ings in the starting 11, but I chose Skamaka instead. Unfortunately, that never happened. But yeah, having Johnson at left back, I thought was a great idea. Didn't have the best of performances in terms of how he played at right back when he got when Soufal got substituted for Cresswell at half time. But Johnson did perfectly well and was amazing at the right back. So it's nice to see, with Moyes realising that you've got to put natural players in their natural positions, because once that happened, our defence was 10 times better. Having said that, the first 10-12 minutes we were all over Forest, absolutely pinned them in to their side of the half of the pitch. Some great play, some great attempts. You could argue poor corners from Rice, because Neves got on the end of every single one of them. Now, you could argue that Neves was reading them very well. You could also argue that Rice was over-hitting it. Other than that, Rice as a player had a phenomenal game. The 98% pass accuracy that has been floating around today, so from Dan Woffenden, if I remember correctly. So, that's fine from that point of view. But as I say, for the first half, I thought we tried and it just wasn't working. It really wasn't working. And I don't think Fabianski had that much to do apart from a couple of corners in the first half to try and save, and that was about it. Forest were terrible. They offered even less than Everton, and that's saying something. Everton were piss poor when we beat them 2-0. And Forest were piss poor today to a degree when we beat them, yesterday when we beat them 4-0. So, I don't know. Is it going to be the fact of the worse of the team, the higher the goals we're going to score? Very fortuitous, of course. But yeah, as I say, Soufal came off at half-time. I'm hoping it was tactically rather than anything else. Because I thought Soufal did okay. I thought he did, he lost the ball a couple of times, but again, who didn't? But yeah, putting Cresswell at left back and Johnson over on the right-hand side worked superbly well. Really, really did. Some chances that weren't going in the second half, like Bowen's run down the right-hand side, hits the far post and bounces out. Or sorry, rolls out, I should say, when everybody's celebrating it going in before it actually did. It was just... we were saying we're down, we're relegated. If we can't beat this side, we're down. We're not. Nothing's going our way. It's going to be 0-0. We're up. We're down. And Paquetá had a bit of an injury, but seemed to be okay until he got substituted. And also, for that matter, Fabianski was down for quite a while. And now and this is the issue that I've got with Rice as a captain. I say player performance unbelievable, brilliant. Yes, okay, in the 66th, 67th minute when Areola went down, Moyes was talking to Rice about, and a few other players about giving tactics on how to break them down, which obviously ended up working superbly well. We scored 4 goals in, was it pretty much 15 minutes, 14 minutes? It was unreal, absolutely unreal. But Ogbonna was more concerned about Fabianski going off than our captain. And that's the issue I've got with him. Shouldn't be that way in any shape or form. Yes, as I said, Rice was talking to Moyes and was getting his instructions, as with most of the side. But once that instruction was done, he didn't pelt over to see how Fabianski was, say, look after yourself, mate, or nothing. He for lack of intent of purposes, you could say he completely ignored him. Ogbonna checked on him. And wished him well as he walked off the pitch. Cresswell checked, So, look after yourself, mate, sort of thing, something, but nothing from my captain. That's the only issue. And as I said in the preview of this game, that's what I've got my issue about Rice. Is the only issue is that he's not a captain yet. He will be in terms of the captain that we need, but he's a victim of his own ego. I've said it before, and I'll keep saying it until things change. Basically, he needs to work on his captaincy, and he will. He won't get a chance to do it at West Ham. But anyway. What a run by Danny Ings, setting up Bowen, and then Bowen passing the ball back to putting the ball into the box, and Ings connecting on it on the 70th minute. Phenomenally good goal. Checked for offside. I did say he looks offside as it goes in, but he was onside, so it's perfectly fine. It was great. Everybody was panicking. VAR. Crap game. Here we go. It's not going to be ruled. It's not going to be ruled, but it was. It was ruled. And it ruled as a goal. And the commentator go, "It's a goal." that was funny. That did make me laugh. I love the pitch side compare. He's brilliant. He's done it for. He's been doing it for decades, and he's so good. Really comes out with some crackers every now and again. Doesn't always get the team pronunciations right. And a few games back, he actually missed out one of the players in the announcement before the game. So by his logic, we only had 10 players on the pitch. But in general, he's been phenomenal for us. But what actually was a minute or so apart, regardless of what the match report actually says, because for some reason the first goal was recorded at the 70th minute, and then the second goal by Danny Ings was ruled on the 73rd minute. You could argue that's an own goal. It certainly looked like it, but at the end of the day, it's awarded to Danny Ings. It's perfect. He's opened his account, as everybody likes to say. He's got a brace from his first start. That is why we need a striker. As we've been saying it for many, many times, Antonio is very, very good player. Very, very good. He doesn't have the striker's instincts. The goal that he ended up scoring when he came on, which we'll talk about in a minute, isn't a striker's goal. It's a midfielder's, it's a defender's goal. It's anybody but a striker's goal. There was a big, big gap, a few seconds before that corner, where Ings would have been to get his hat-trick. Why Moyes took him off and brought on to Antonio when he's on the verge of a hat-trick, I'll never fucking know. I don't get it. I personally would have brought off Bowen, who had a phenomenally good game as well. What you could have argued for was Benrahma could have come off for Antonio, put Bowen out on the left hand side, and have Antonio out on the right. So we've got keep the 4-3-3, but change to 4-4-2 when both of them are trying to attack. If we'd have done that, we could. No disrespect to Forest fans in any shape or form. We could have almost got our goal difference back to 0 if we'd have done that. Honestly, it couldn't handle Antonio at all, and that was the game plan. But have him alongside Ings would work absolutely perfectly. It really, genuinely would. But yeah, so it's a great goal from Rice. It's the cliched thunder cunt. Great ball to the top right hand corner. Never's got absolutely nowhere near it. And Rice celebrated. Now, I'm not sure. Given everything that's been going on and what I've been talking about, I'm not sure if Rice is celebrating because he scored the goal, or celebrating that because there's a good chance that we can stay up, and therefore when we sell him, he can hold his head up high and be sold as a captain who never relegated, who he kept the team up. I'm in. Guys, put your comments in the comment section below. Let me know. I'm in two minds about it. I genuinely am. I'm hoping it's the fact that he celebrated because he loves it, and it's been a while since he celebrated. He celebrated at the Bobby Moore end as well. It's just I'm hoping it's all that, but there's just this. I wasn't really emphatic about the celebration. As beautiful as it was, and everyone coming together and hugging, and celebrating. It was brilliant. I love that. It shows the team are together, and the fact they went down to the pitch side and celebrating. But you can see there's video footage of Benrahma talking to the fans and all the rest of it while that celebration's going on. Brilliant. Absolutely superb. I think either that or Antonio's goal, one of the two. But yeah, it shows that they care, and I love that. But I'm just kind of thinking, is that the real reason why Rice was celebrating the way that he was, or that the fact that, yeah, there's a good chance West Ham are staying up, and when I go, it's going to be because of me that they're staying up. I'm not sure. We'll wait and see. We'll have to see what happens towards the end of May. But, and as I say, with Antonio's goal, Ogbonna-esque header, sort of, shall we say, into the back of the net, and it's 4-0, and it was game over for 1-0, to be honest with you. But we are now 2 points clear of the relegation zone, but we are still in it. It's not. I don't see this as resurgence in any shape or form. Bearing in mind we've got Brighton away next weekend, or actually about this time next week. By the time you guys are watching this, so yeah, I don't know. I'm happy, of course. It's fantastic that we've been able to do this, be able to get these points. Really, really urgently needed win, of course, and I'm very, very happy from that point of view. But I'm still nervous about the fact that we're only 2 points away, and we've still, for the relegation zone, we've still got to play Southampton, we've still got to play Leeds, we've still got to play Bournemouth, we've still got to play Brighton, as I mentioned. You know, top 6 aside, we've got to beat the teams that are around us in the table. And yeah, that's the worry. But we've won. We've got a result for the first time in a long, long time, especially at home. I know. Okay, yes, all right. The Everton game was the last result, and it wasn't that long ago, but it feels it. It really generally does. This is going to be a very, very long season for us. Of course, on Wednesday we've got the Man United FA Cup game. So I'm going to go and start putting my notes together now for that. So keep an eye out for that. Make sure if you haven't already done so, please do subscribe if you're enjoying the content. Hit your notification bell and set the settings to all, so make sure you know when new content is going up. But in the meantime, guys, look after yourselves. Enjoy the rest of your weekend or the start of your week, depending on when you're watching this. And I will see you very, very soon. All the best now. Take care.